Hello, today I want to talk about a chart that is available in the Seaborn's library. This chart is useful, in my opinion, to view cohorted data. And you might be asking yourself, well, what is cohorted data? Well, think of an example of, or think of yourself as a company that publishes software. And you have users download your software and install it. And so you're going to record the date that they install your software, right? And you want to have, a certain set of user engagement, meaning like you want to retain your user, you want them to come back and open your application and use your software. So you start recording like the days that your users uh, are using your software, right? Your retention of them. And so what this data represents at an aggregated level is basically a cohort month. In our theoretical example, it can be the date that they installed, the retention day, meaning that the day that they came back. So this is day one, which would be the day after the install occurred. And already pre-calculated is the retention rate, meaning like how many users did you retain on day one? Of those users that installed the software, how many came back on day one, and you saw them again the following day. So if we wanted to get a sense of like what the patterns were and which months maybe perform better than the other ones, we can do that in Excel, except it does kind of get a little challenging to visualize tabular data. And so that's why I'm demonstrating this cohort pivot chart that's available, or heat map chart that's available in the Seaborn's library. So let's take a look at what you need in order to get this chart generated. The first thing is the Pandas library. That's simply just to read in your data and then pass it through the charting library. We'll get Matplotlib and Seaborn. And optionally, I use the OS library in order to set the path for my data file and import that, but you can also hard type that in. So here I am basically just setting the paths to my folders and my data file. Then I'm reading in the data file. I'm parsing my dates, which is just the cohort month. This makes it easier to work with, or the data to work with in terms of sorting it and so on. I'll also be applying this function that formats my retention rates or values to decimal. You can see, not to percentages. You can see here they're listed as decimals, but I want to represent them as percentages on my chart. Then we will pass the data frame, or rather, we'll pivot the data frame like so, and setting our index on the retention date, the columns to the cohort month, and of course noting the values as our retention rate. Once I apply my formatted, my percentage format to my numbers, we'll go ahead and plot the data. And so once you plot and run this data, you'll get like a nice little visualization or chart with the retention days on the index, and then the install month or cohort month on the y-axis. On the x-axis. So this allows us to get a bird's eye view or a cleaner view in terms of like which months performed best when it came to retention on day one. And this can help you kind of understand if you ran a promotion on a given month, whether it really resonated with your users, or if you incentivize them somehow to come back and to retain in a certain month, how that impacted your users. So I feel this is a great chart for that type of visualization and get that high level view. I hope you like it too, and hope you're able to use it. Thank you for watching.